So with Newcastle United's summer rebuild set to be taking place behind the scenes, there have been links of some huge names, some European young talents and Premier League proven players showing a mix of ambition, youth and experience. But while all of this speculation is going on, there are still rumours of familiar faces set to leave Newcastle this summer, and there have been confirmed some long-serving members of the club set to leave Newcastle this summer. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the major rumoured links. We're going to look at whether these players fit the mould of an Eddie Howe style system, and we're going to look at whether we believe they are the right moves for the football club. If you're new around here, I'm Adam. This is Two for Joy. Make sure you get down there, like and subscribe. Welcome to the community. Have your say in the comments. Let's get into it. So we're going to start off by paying tribute to two great servants of the club, Kieran Trippier and Emil Krafth. We'll start with Kieran Trippier, 34 years old, 4.5 years of service, a world-class leader in this dressing room. And I think the first player through the door when the takeover came, and the guy that really pushed us behind the scenes into becoming a cup winning side and brought us our first trophy in so long. He's an exceptional talent, tactically intelligent player, and it'll be a shame to see him leave, but hopefully he'll have a great send-off tomorrow. And then Emil Krafth, a reliable squad player with a good understanding of the game and a good understanding of the club and the fans. And Emil Krafth put out a heartfelt message on social media, and it was a touching moment where you could see it means a lot to him, having played for this club, and what we've brought to him as fans and what he's brought to us as a player. Never really the focal point, but a really good servant to the club. 7 years of service, you've got to hand it to him. And then basically we'll move on to the speculation of obviously Fabian Schär. And where I kind of feel this one goes is if we see Fabian Schär come out at the end of the West Ham game and do his lap of honour and do his clap to the fans and wave his goodbyes, we'll know that he's going to be leaving and that these contract talks have gone stale and that Newcastle haven't reached an agreement and are set to let him go. But if we don't see Fabian Schär tomorrow, I would fully expect him to get a new contract, a deal to be confirmed in the next kind of week or two. And personally, I believe, not through loyalty to the player, but I do believe that Fabian Schär has enough in his locker, and with our squad looking to be threadbare with the amount of players that are going to be leaving this summer, that he definitely deserves another contract. In my opinion, he is right up there with one of the top centre-backs I've ever seen play for this football club. So, I really hope we can get a deal over the line and that Fabian Schär will be here next season. And then we'll move on to the speculation of Anthony Gordon having supposedly agreed terms with Bayern Munich, although a fee is not yet been agreed. And the 25-year-old left winger for Newcastle United, in the market valued around 60 to 70 million pounds. Personally, I feel this would be a really good deal for Newcastle if they can get it over the line. I don't think Anthony Gordon's really hit the heights of where he was 2 seasons ago. And realistically, I think the guy's kind of in it for personal accolades now. I think he's kind of showing himself on the market and believes that he's outgrown the club. And whether he has or he hasn't, it's kind of just speculation. In my personal opinion, it'd be a huge deal for us if we could get a decent fee for Anthony Gordon. And I don't believe he's 100% committed to the club. I don't believe his heart's in it. And at that point, it's probably best if the player moves on and we look to bring in somebody who wants to further their career by being at Newcastle United. And going from one Anthony to another, we'll go to our first rumour, which is Jayden Anthony to Newcastle. 26 years old, left winger from Burnley. He's Premier League proven. He's Eddie Howe proven. He's got history of playing for Eddie Howe previously. He is rapid. He's an exciting left winger with huge potential in the Premier League. He's got vast experience and could provide Newcastle with some squad depth. I don't believe Jayden Anthony is a starter in this team. I'm not sure whether this transfer personally is the right move for Newcastle, but he is direct, he's aggressive, he's good in one-on-one situations. He has a strong dribbling ability and he's a hard worker, which is kind of in the mould of everything Eddie Howe wants. The reported fee is between 20 and 30 million pounds. I feel the 30 million is fairly high for a player of Jayden Anthony's quality. Obviously, with Burnley being relegated this season, that price may be reduced and they may look to offload him. Let me know in the comments what you think of this one and whether he could be the right fit for Newcastle or not. And then moving on to our second target, the link, Jarrod Bowen, 29 years old, right winger attacking midfielder for West Ham. We all know Jarrod Bowen, Premier League proven performer. I think he's an excellent player. My only concern would be that he's 29 years old and West Ham, should they get relegated, probably will want to get a fee in for him and Jarrod Bowen will probably want to move to a bigger club. He's a proven winger who could add real quality to this team and I think he is what we are lacking on our right-hand side. He's captain of West Ham, so he's got the leadership qualities and he provides goals. Everything about this, bar his age, I think is a decent move. The only thing that puts me off is the fact that West Ham are demanding somewhere between, or rumoured to be demanding somewhere between 40 and 60 million pounds for Jarrod Bowen. At 29, that is a lot of money and we can't go into this window doing the same things that we've done in previous windows. Now, while I don't think Jarrod Bowen is the type of guy that would come in and flop, it is a large transfer fee when we have a lot of players to sign. So this one, speculatively, I'm not sure Jarrod Bowen is the guy that will leave West Ham. He does seem like a hammer through and through, but relegation is a whole different ball game. We'll have to wait and see how this one pans out. And then on to the youth. The European youth of Ewen Jaouen, a young, exciting goalkeeper. He's very much in the mould. And this is why I believe this one, the speculation for this one could well be true. He is very much in the mould of a future Nick Pope. He is 6'6". He's strong in one-on-ones. He's got good aerial ability. He's an excellent shot stopper with good reflexes. He's strong with penalties and he's got a massive potential for growth. It's a huge upside as a goalkeeper, realistically, to bring in someone of this age with the kind of background he's got. The reservations I have is he is almost, at this point, a carbon copy of Nick Pope. His distribution is lacking. His footwork appears heavy at times. He's not the quickest off the line. And he's inconsistent with his long-range passing, which is everything we have from Nick Pope. And do we really want to bring in a goalie that is going to be another Nick Pope? Now, realistically, where this starts is he's not going to be brought in to be a first-team keeper. He is going to be brought in to be a backup keeper or a youth keeper to develop over time. And the links are between 20 and 25 million pounds, which I think is excessive. I think he's more of a 10 million pound player, but obviously with everybody knowing that Newcastle are looking for goalkeepers, is going to bump the fee up. Realistically, I think he's a top talent that could develop over time into something really special. It's whether they can work on that distribution and his footwork as to whether he can develop into that kind of world-class goalkeeper that we're looking for. And then moving on to Brooke Norton-Cuffy, and I've done Brooke Norton-Cuffy before. The links are coming back again. 22-year-old right back or wing back. He's an England under 21. He's a fantastic player. He's got outstanding pace and athleticism. He's very strong. He's excellent at getting forward. He's a good chance creator. He does well on the overlap. He's got limited experience at the top level, and his final third decision making can sometimes be an issue. But realistically, at his age, he is very much in the mould of a Tino Livramento. I think he would have a great potential at Newcastle. I think he would bring us a totally different dynamic, very much in the mould of a Lewis Hall on the right-hand side. He really excites me. The rumoured fee to be between 25 and 35 million. I think it's a really good fee for a player of his age with huge potential and, you know, still in the early stages of his development. But he does fit the style of a modern fullback, which is what makes him so exciting. And then moving on again, Lamine Camara. And this is kind of the big one. 22-year-old central midfielder from Monaco, Lamine Camara. Now, the transfer rumours for this one, we are heavily linked with him, as are Liverpool. He is a high energy, high press, high work rate midfielder. He is strong in transitions. He's very composed. He's an excellent tackler. He's versatile across basically the whole midfield three with a really high ceiling to develop. This kid is, he's definitely one to watch. Now, whether Newcastle have the pulling power to be able to pull him in is a completely different ball game. And then the remarks of the cons are physically slight compared to the Premier League standard. But I'll be quite honest, I think this is a guy that could come in realistically and within a season be up to the mark, be up to scratch. He is a very, very good player, very exciting. And the clubs that are being linked with him suggests that they also believe that he has the ability to push on and really make it in this league. And then moving on to another Premier League proven talent who hasn't quite cut it, Harvey Elliott. And 23 years old, attacking midfielder stroke winger. We all know Harvey Elliott, Liverpool, Aston Villa. It's not really worked for him either. He is an exceptional talent, and I feel that with Newcastle's midfield, if they can have a player, if we can have a player that is surplus to the defensive work, he has exceptional close control. He is a creative player. He's got a good range of passing and vision. He's versatile. He's composed under pressure. He has big game experience despite his age. Pretty much everything that Newcastle would need in an attacking midfielder. It's just whether we need an attacking midfielder in this mould. Because under Eddie Howe, we all know, as much as we like creative players, they aren't really the mould that Eddie Howe will go for. And this is why I've put in the cons. He's got limited physicality in Premier League battles. His consistency and output needs improving. He can be wasteful in front of goal. All of those things kind of set me to the premise that this one might be a non-starter. I know the rumoured fee is around £40 million. And I think if Aston Villa weren't realistically willing to pay it, I'm not sure whether he will be a better fit in Eddie Howe's system. So, like I say, let me know in the comments what you think of these guys. There are other reports coming through. A lot of players who are being linked in the 60, 70, 80 million pounds, even down to Samu from Portugal being linked again. And I just can't see Newcastle after Eddie Howe's interview. And it's a very strange one, obviously, with Eddie saying we have three strikers and he believes in the three strikers we've got. So currently at the moment, we're not looking for a striker. I personally believe that Willisula has been linked to moves to Germany for £40 million. I think if the offers come in at £40 million, I'd be very surprised if they don't let Willisula go. Johan Wissa, I think Eddie will give the time to. And then Nick Voltmar, if I'm honest, I think if any speculative offer came in around 60 to 65 million pounds for Nick Voltmar, I think Eddie Howe would want to move him on, as I don't believe he honestly thinks he will fit the system, or moving forward he'll be able to get a tune out of. And I found it very frustrating, I'll be honest, in the interview when he said we've got 3 strikers, because personally I believe we've got 2, and we've got a striker that Eddie Howe likes to play as a midfielder, which kind of makes no sense to me, that you're classing Nick Voltmar as a striker on one hand when you're doing a press conference, but when you're playing him on the field, you play him as a midfielder. It just makes no sense to me at all. But, like I say, let me know in the comments if there's any players you've seen linked. Be sure to pop them in the comments so I can have a look. And hopefully, guys, I will see you in the next one.